too. That's because there's two of them.
Yeah. I'm like, I hope it's not long.
Gotta get this is a 10-1 deadline, you know.
I know. Guarantee we will make it fast. Well, he will keep everyone on point. I'm sure. If not more, just keep everyone on track, keeping them like, you know, like, chop, chop,
Right.
no
right, everybody, it's 6 o'clock. I call the special council meeting, of the Bridgeport City Council, to order. Madam Clerk, would you do roll call, please?
Mayor Robert McKinney.
Present.
Reporter Hank Murray.
Here.
Counselor Jason Campbell.
Here.
Counselor Don Burton.
Here.
Counselor Clayton Rice.
Here.
Counselor Jacqueline Robinger. Here. Counselor Chris Kinney.
Here.
Thank you. Are there any public comments?
No.
Okay, hearing none or seeing none, no unfinished business. New business, it appears that items 5.1 through 5.4 meet the statutory requirements for executive session. Is there any action on those?
I'd ask if there's any way that we can discuss any of this in public forum, updates that the public has a right to know about before we actually discuss our opinion of it or what we intend to do.
I think we could go either way. I think that we could either go into executive session, discuss it first, or we could discuss what we could here, go into executive session. I mean, be it the, I have no preference, be up to the council which way we want to do it. And maybe if the manager, the city attorney wants to opine on that.
I mean, I would certainly move that we talk as much as possible beforehand because it's so easy while we're in there, just natural progression of conversation to go into those other areas, which may happen anyways if we go in afterwards, but if we could get as much out as possible during open session, I'd appreciate that.
Thank you.
Do we have the lawyers here? Are they calling in to give us an update?
Our city attorney, I think, is prepared. He's talked to Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller couldn't be here this evening, but he is available at our next meeting if we need to follow up with him. And John, I don't want to speak for you if you wouldn't mind.
Do you want me to start on 5.1?
Whatever. I would move that we talk about each topic out here and then move in, because we're probably going to have to talk about them as a whole when we get into executive session, I would think.
Yeah, and if you'd bear with me, let's make sure that's the desire of the council to do it in that
Right,
order. Does anybody
absolutely.
have any objections to that? Okay, then we'll carry on. Thank you.
Alrighty, on the conference center, we've gotten a request from Charles Point Hospitality to basically release a lease that we have with Bridgeport Development Authority. And just to give you the backstory, probably about 2003, 2004, council decided that it would like to have a conference center here in Bridgeport. And I think they put out a number of they wanted to spend maybe about 1.5 million on it. And it was an agreement structured where the Bridgeport Development Authority would issue bonds, lease the property to the city of Bridgeport. City of Bridgeport sublet the property to CP Hospitality, and then within that there was an option to purchase at the end. And basically, the purchase price was either set at $3 million, the greater of $3 million, or the fair market value, the lesser of, sorry. And then there were credits given for hotel motel tax, property that Genesis Partners basically donated for the conference center to be built on. They got credit for the parking lot easement. I'm missing one, Joe. Let me pull my notes out. So capital improvements, all of those things. Their attorney has sent over a letter, which I think probably we should discuss in executive session. It gives through the numbers, and we'll go through all of that.
Okay. Any questions of legal counsel on that matter? Okay. And I think I was just looking on the agenda for a regular meeting. I think that it may call for action on that. Am I correct? Is that in the regular meeting at 7? Okay, all right, thank you. Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that we move into executive session to discuss 5.1 to 5.4.
Okay, motion on the floor to go into executive session to discuss 5.1 to 5.4. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Well, is there discussion on that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I'm going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why we can't discuss certain aspects of this out in public forum. Like I have a question of I'm sure this isn't the first time where there's been contradictory court rulings. So in general terms, I'd like to know how that's typically handled, not how we're personally going to handle it, but just in the legal system in general, so others out there can know how that's typically done, so when we come out and make a decision, they can understand that. That's one question at least, but.
Okay, any other discussion on that? Okay, and I'm sorry I missed your discussion on that, that wasn't intentional. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay?
Nay.
Okay, ayes have it, we'll go into executive session. We are live, we almost shut the audio off, so if you guys can speak freely. Just please remind me to turn it back on.
It always is. Usually I'm not on it, and then the executive session, it takes the longest usually.
What's that? No, they're red
They're
because
all
they're
on.
all off. Yeah.
They're all on.
Just come out there, Jeff, if you wouldn't mind.
I don't know what kind of question you're putting on for that.
So you're gonna get your money's worth.
Song and dance time.
I got a song and dance, it's just not an actual song and dance.
So this 5.1 is, Bridgeport was looking at
Transferring the deed
The deed for the.
for the conference center to the hospitality.
Yeah, it was part of the agreement when they did it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
oh, for the conference center, okay,
Yes.
now, why was that you went to conference center?
Who is it?
It's under us.
Charles Point
The
area is
development,
20 years old.
Bridgeport Development
For
Authority
that
owns it.
development area.
They lease it to the
That's
city,
crazy.
and the city subleases it.
I mean, I don't know how long you guys are, but I can't believe that's been
I just moved here.
in the development stage for 20 years. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it feels like it was just the past
They had the right to
10
purchase.
years it blew up. Do you know what I mean? Like, as
Yeah,
far
you
as
get
like,
$3 billion.
as far as getting like
Fair market value.
all the lawyers' offices and what have you on that one side of
Minus
everything with the hospital and all that stuff.
the
And
land
now
alone,
we've got
there's-
Menards going in. Like,
Yeah, it's probably 7
it
acres.
just feels like all that, and then they're
Renovations,
moving the
upgrades
airport
for
right to it at
20
some
years.
point. I don't know what's going on with
The
that.
money they paid into.
As far as the terminal.
Tip.
We're doing like a new
Not
terminal.
tip. They don't pay into the
I
actual
don't know.
parking lot.
Honestly, I have not heard.
easements,
I have
things
been
like
so
that.
quiet on that
Oh,
part.
yeah.
I have
It's
not heard
basically
anything
the
from
easement,
them.
and that's what they do.
Even from the city.
They do.
So
Yeah,
then
we're doing
in the
So they gave them money for the taxiway, and I don't even know, like, I'm pretty sure they got that done.
Which is
Yeah,
Charles
Daniel's
Point
thinking reach out to them,
Hospitality.
you know.
It's actually one of those things that they do build.
And
Or stick it on me and
the
Mark
building was
Street.
built, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I
I don't know
wonder
about
if
the
they still
inside.
did
Like,
that.
I don't know what.
Because when Dewar was up there, I
He
think.
was
Because
just
something about the other
he
ones
was a
the
he was
past
a
being more
partner.
simple. Like,
He was involved in the management ownership of the very limited work. And I'll tell you one
I
thing.
was like, how are they gonna?
In fairness
It's
to
interesting
the
because they're gonna do
ownership,
they have an entrance to the other
I've
side
been back
now
there
from
probably
I
3
think
or
that's
4 times
250
since
that
Scott
goes
left.
to Charles Point,
And
right?
I've always had a good meal.
Something like that. And then they've got that new like
And
entrance to
Scott
the
was there.
airport
I've never had a
back.
bad meal.
I was like, I don't know.
Also, I've not had a bad meal on Muriel's.
I was like, it
Not
looks
to say the same
nice
thing
as
when
far
Rocky
as
had it.
like how they did the
Yeah.
entrance and like I haven't been through there
Well,
in
of
a
course,
little
people
while, but I
talking
was like,
about
it looks
prices.
nice. Like there was nice pavement going up there,
That's
and I was
everywhere.
like,
I told my wife, she goes,
maybe it's been a couple years now since they
Well, I know.
started that. And I'm like, are they actually maybe there's strings attached to some dollars. I don't know. And it's a possibility. That is, X was set for lead line only, X was set for rate customers.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think that mostly, I mean, probably not entirely, but mostly they're coming to the end of some of that. Do you know what I mean? So what happens when all that extra money is just sitting there that they can't do anything with? Are there screens
Yeah.
gonna become changeable, like they can?
It's gonna keep going for like at least.
It could push on for the next, like, because right now they're just doing the main parts that they know about. There's still variables that they don't know about, that's on people's property.
Yeah, they're just in like the main areas. I was driving around.
It's kind of like, it's like a honeycomb business.
Here, there it
It's
is.
really spread out.
And it gets more as you go out.
Yeah,
There's more areas.
so like, so with those projects, there's variables that they don't, like it's under the ground, like the clay pipes. But the super ran into a lot of that, honestly, with the clay pipe situation. The sewer pipes that ran into it. Downtown they did, because they even found, buried, railroad by, the Royal Hotel. And I'm like, why didn't you say, like, I don't know if the history museum or anybody, like, got any of those bricks or any of those railroad, like, they were talking about where the railroad tie that was underground that was petrified, that was basically a rock. Did someone see that? That'd be super cool, I'm like, how come we just didn't trash it? I'm like, how come we just didn't trash that, and whatever, like, it was Earl Gaskins and stuff, I'm like, thinking, like, how come we just didn't trash that? Like, that's kind of cool, you like dug up a piece of history. Then he was talking about, there were still wooden pipes. There were still wooden water pipes that were still in service. That they were using. I'm like, did you think myself, did you save those too? I'm like, she's thinking of all these like artifact objects. I'm like, the history museum is like all this stuff.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know where their house or where they would put it, but like, you had a wooden water pipe, that'd be awesome. You had like the railroad pipe, that would be great. Like, yeah. Yeah. I know, the infrastructure is so brittle. Nobody realized, like, I complain about the roads, because the roads are trash right now. They're still kind of trash, so they tried to make them a little better, and they did. But they're still trash. And I'm just like, when is this gonna end? At least the road part of it, when is that gonna end? And like, Earl Gaskins said, hopefully April 1st, it starts paving. They've done some paving. As far as the city did on the cross street. Yeah, that's the reason they don't plow them in the winter. If you ever notice downtown, the side streets get plowed this way by the city, but these streets, they never get plowed. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, cause you see, like, Chunkwell Street will be clear, them mean and tight, no, they won't touch it. It's a state road. And I'm like, if I think from the state perspective, I'm like, wouldn't it be easier to have the city bid it out freeze that we had this past winter, January, February. And look out the, did you see the sidewalks downtown? No one was cleaning them. And I'm like, why am I, like, if this is Morgantown, Fairmont,
trip.
you can have your code enforcement officer out there in that heavy jacket. They'd be right taking them post lawnmowers after 24, 48 hours. It was 2 weeks and the sidewalks weren't clear. I'm like,
Especially this year because.
Oh my god.
I swear I hear from guys. 'Cause I noticed this on First Friday, so I was down that time too. The sidewalks downtown are so brittle. Look at the edges of them. Like, little Dawn in a wheelchair to any old person who's walking in, a cane, what have you, it's gonna get stuck in those little notches that like,
Yeah.
there's no ADA accessibility, like, it's awful. Like, the state came in, they redid those curbs on the corners. But even those, I saw one of them, I forget which one, I think it was on my way to the, on the other side, going back to the railroad museum. Even those didn't even break down. And it's not because of the road work, it's because of the weather. It froze and you could see what it's cracking. And I was walking, by the board's office and all those on the corners, like, when the gaps, where it froze, it just cracked them all. Like, there's big chunks missing. And I'm like, why isn't someone, like, paying attention to this and going back and, like, making, like, this, it could do some small repairs. Especially, like, and then I've heard this, and it came from the city manager, and I don't have it, like, actual on tape anymore. She was like, we'll leave it to the businesses and the property owners to put sidewalks in. She's like, the town's not responsible for sidewalks. Yeah.
Well, what?
She's like, there's not, she's like, there's not enough money. She's like, especially like, let's say Northview.
And Bill said,
Or
gotta
East
get
Street,
it,
you
gotta
gotta
go
go
somewhere,
sidewalks.
you gotta go where it's
Like,
going.
in front of the homes. Yeah, we're not gonna worry about those. If anything, we'll just pull them out.
You know, when they.
It'll add to parking, we can make the lane, make the street wider. Which is okay in some areas, probably needs to be wider in some areas. Some of those houses probably still need a sidewalk. I mean, if you look at some of the new developments, I know some new rural developments, they have a sidewalk to the street, but not like running in front of. But still, like, these are old communities, you're going to do it, you're tearing the sidewalk with dirt and rocks and pavement. I mean, she wasn't talking about downtown.
Oh, really?
But she was talking about Northview, like, taking those sidewalks out, and it was like, or just like abandoning them and basically deteriorating over there to keep people out. I'm like, some of these people that buy these she'll be like, here's my list,
Somebody's gonna.
and like, she'll have like the city clerk, like, babysit the kid whenever she brings the kid into the office, like. I mean, the city clerk will probably offer at some point, but then she took advantage. She was like, okay, it's a one-time thing, like, it doesn't happen all the, and then it became an all the time kind of thing, like, or a regular occurrence. Which is fine, like, it's not that big of a deal, but it is. I just don't understand in the charter. I think it was implied that it needed to be a person that lived within the city of Clarksburg. And they were implied that they were going to be a US resident of the state. You know what I mean? Like, just because she owns property here, she's still not a citizen. So I don't know if it's so vague in the charter that what they did is legal or illegal. The charter is so vague on that part of it. Oh, yeah. They basically drew straws. And what it was, they took a hat and put like little footballs with their name on them, and they drew them out of the hat, and that's how we got his seat.
That's insane.
That's literally how she got it. No, he didn't step down. He got voted out.
Oh.
He did not step down. He was, and now he's like, he thinks he's a reporter. He's got this like news, the Clarksburg News Observer. Was that you that sent the email? Someone.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's a lot.
Oh, that's great.
Because he went to Clarksburg News Observer and posted that, and I wanted to like totally like flat back and be like, coming from a person that has ethics violation from the, he's a big round of applause. I'm like, what do you want to do?
And why go back?
That is good stuff.
Here's a little bit too much, so, because people were aware of it. He's dating Shannon Wells. And she's like his daughter's age. Like, that's, and he was legally separated from his current wife. And then like, when he broke up with Shannon, and then it wasn't like 3 days later, he was back with his wife. And I'm like, what? He's odd. He's very, I hope he does not get on the water board.
Oh, no.
He's running for the water board, and he will make it a mess. I'm like, there's no way anyone can vote for him. I'm like, after he did with city council, like, does anyone vote for him? They're crazy. I think Chad is doing good. I think some of the older ones are fans.
Oh, no, the other.
Yeah, he said he can't get the water board. He runs for president. House Delegates is what it is. This is nephew running too.
They have the
They're running on both
extra
parties,
stuff.
because one's Democrat, one's Republican.
Oh, yes.
House divided, you know? But, yeah, so like, I want to see younger people get on there. Look at Al Cox, I love Al. He's in his 70s. Some of what he says makes sense, and some of them, like, Al, get off that tangent, like, make it brief, and like, let's stick to it, come on, dude. I know, he loves himself and he loves to talk, he'll talk your ear off about anything.
He was happy to talk to me.
Oh yeah, Al Cox will talk to you about anything, he'll talk to you about fishing for an hour if he can, you know?
Yeah, right.
but he's just so precious. Anywhere he goes, he is the star. But yeah, that water
I don't
parade,
know why I'm thinking
man,
of donuts, but when I was a
you don't
kid,
get to bring
one of
people
my
in
favorite
there.
things in pastry shop,
I know what's gonna
cookies
happen.
too. But the old food lane had them. They would make
I would love to see the rates come
they're
down some,
basically walnut iced
but it just
glazed
keeps going up and keep going up.
donuts filled with white cream.
But the way that they
So
can
my son got
maintain them at the current level and not make them go up any
they
further.
put one.
What about some of these old people?
I
They're
go
only 60,
occasionally to places
and you're talking
Eastview for
an
donuts.
$80 water bill. Plus you got
They're expensive.
$45 probably
They're
super,
so good.
maybe
If
not
you get
more.
it something filled,
Yeah.
it's
Look at maybe $200
they closed down
for minimum.
Sweet Nana's,
Probably.
but it's open under some other name.
And it's my rent. But
And he's actually local
about that,
bakery. He's got a restaurant line down there.
and then
But,
these people on fixed income, like how?
they were actually pretty good.
I don't know how they're gonna do
Pretty
it.
good. There was one day I went home that way,
Oh, 'cause
and
it's not going out.
he does
Not
special
drastically like
there
the,
once in a while.
right,
He'll just
the
randomly
cost of
announce
using water
and
and
follow his page to
utilities.
Facebook. You'll get a notice. But usually he was closed at that time. He was closed at 5 o'clock on Friday. You know, I was out working. But there was one day I
I just
got
don't
off
understand
early
how
on
people can pay
Friday.
another
He just was getting ready to shut my computer off. He sent a
$200
response.
water and
Buy one,
$60.
get one free with our homemade
It's just
pepperoni
gonna,
and all
I think it's gonna continue to drive people out of the area, honestly, with higher rates.
I think they looked on Saturday. That's what I thought, but he just said they
Yeah,
had
I mean, but
that ton.
that's a
And
primary
his
reason
donut,
as
his
far as
pepperoni
like people
rolls,
are like, I'm
they
in
make
because I can't afford to stay.
for sale like that
It's
versus
cheaper
like
elsewhere.
Rogers and Madison.
The rates
It's
are like
jump. I never
phenomenal
I've
compared
been
to
there, but
living in the city.
I'm not a fan of them. These ones
Think
were
about,
delicious.
let's say you live in Upton County or Buchanan. You find a nice house in downtown Buchanan.
So yeah.
Your
and
water bill
that-
minimum usage is probably $45. Sewer's probably double that, maybe.
See, I
Sewer.
forgot about that.
You're looking at
Please
like,
tell me, you got any pictures of those?
what, 120, 130 type of dollars.
I can't, I'm stunned that they do
You're
it.
gonna pay $200 a month for water,
That he
sewer,
doesn't
and
hit
electric.
you up or your husband up for photos.
You know what I mean? Like, he was gonna go and save money.
I'm gonna, if you get a call from me one day, I'm gonna talk to you, just, rehash on Dorothy's, and then I'm gonna talk to you about this. People love those walks down. Oh my gosh.
Well, we had, it's a franchise, and they were out of, Idaho.
Gary, he was
Lived in,
just,
86.
that threw me for a loop. It really did. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I mean, I understand that.
Anyway,
Do I? I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, I understand age gaps. I mean, whatever, that's fine. I'm like, I don't care.
the general,
she won't speak. I don't know what she's afraid of. Oh yeah, she'd be like, I've heard her maybe 3 or 4 times in her office area, like in the front vestibule. And I'm like, I need an interview. Like, I'm not leaving until I get this. And I'm like, I can wait this out all day. I was like, I'm here. Like, I don't know if you remember, probably, how long you was there. Okay. Well, Martin Howell was city council. He was the city manager.
Hey, how are you?
The easiest thing to get in our office, because I can show up, let's say the meeting was at 6 o'clock. I would show up at 5:30, because I'm gonna set up anyway. So like, 15 minutes straight. Ask questions before the meeting started, to get an interview of like, what if? And then like, I could, either way, what if this happened, what if this happened? And then I would have both responses. That's why it was so nice to be able to walk in and walk out and be able to set the meeting, jot my notes down, and be able to go out.
Good, how you doing? Just dropped my phone. What are you doing today?
Just as much negative publicity as has happened between Bridgeport and the city council, Little League and city council, we came to an agreement, and I think we need to thank them.
Yeah, okay,
Give them the positive. You know what I mean?
I do. Good, that's good to hear.
Go back to the bank.
Please the annex.
I think it's in the bank. 'Cause he was doing. Yeah. I'm just waiting for it to just there. We'll see.
They're not the track, right?
And I don't know either way, but like, oh yeah, the cameras I've seen, I'm just like, you don't have experience. And I'm like, one business experience or two political experience.
You know what I mean? I was like, I said, that's what's.
To know how to handle, no offense, but like, how to handle the other members.
24th, though. But I hate to say, even when he was 24, he was still.
Some of the other ones don't carry the qualifications.
Because he was a lawyer.
I was like, you wouldn't know how to manage, I mean, you know how to manage a hospital, you wouldn't know how to manage a corporation. That's basically what you're doing, you're doing the city.
One of the best things.
You're directing the city manager, we're taking input from the council members,
We're hanging in.
and then from the constituents themselves, to be able to form your agenda, to be able to know what topics to put on there, it's just crazy, that some of them that don't have it.
There was reaches out and made
Probably
money.
deserve some accolade of some kind. Because my stuff in council first before you go to, kind of the top city.
So Carolyn was, her maiden name was Carrie.
Okay.
She married, what was his name? Terry Reed.
Okay.
And that's the relation. I don't know the difference. I
Okay.
really don't.
And he would have, you're young, huh?
47.
Yeah, he's 10 years older. Because I can only remember when I was 8 or 9 years old. He wouldn't have been out there.
Really prepared to answer.
Some of them, like, paycheck and health insurance for
First time I
city.
met Brett Brown.
That's right, we worked there.
Absolutely right. Yep.
So
I forgot about him.
And I don't think they should be paying
I
for
just,
healthcare.
we were just talking about places to eat, and I'm, and she was
It's
working in pastries, and she was telling me stuff. She brought up, I just remember the glass and seeing everything, she said, all this glass container.
I said, my son just loves their photos.
They were, Bonnie does for Bonnie Brothers especially.
Yeah.
I don't know how Bonnie does.
They let us.
Because they're probably doing it. But yeah, this is crazy to think that would get.
Yeah, it was in Hills Point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one on
To the left. I think it's,
What an expensive water board, like.
Howard.
I mean, you're
And it's a financial thing, but I think
Yeah,
that's,
it's financial.
I'm not sure what sits on that end cap. They were on the end cap.
It's totally expensive, like, I don't know. Like,
Might be, Pauline SpongeBob or all.
Yeah, I definitely remember, my Aunt Kay, who did live in Maple Lake, right beside us, she worked there because of that.
especially like
She
an
was there.
operation, it's like an operation, or
I
like.
think that's the worst time. She
Yeah.
stopped working there after that.
Yeah.
Greg Brown
Knee
worked there.
replacement, you know, like an I mean, I understand business ads.
She'll
Fake
normally
news.
do it. Hey, we had extra
I
cookies.
know, they gave us images that were
Like 2 or 3
inaccurate,
times a
and
month.
they had to use them for our TV, and I'm like,
No.
I'm like, I'm like, can't, are we allowed to do this?
Yeah.
That's the way the line is, and I'm like, it is. And I'm like, I know it's AI. It's like this block party we're having. And I'm like, dude, like, I can go pull video from last year.
They're out there every
I'm like,
day.
well, it was like AI stuff. They had like the singers on like one fly, and they had like it was just random. And I'm like, why would they AI that? Like, I could have took pictures from last year's event and stuff and gave them to like actually put the bullet point stuff on it. They wouldn't have.
And, there's that, that house was there, the get-go, before the clubhouse was built, you remember
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, they're not paying. I love it. They're very good at like having people that like the builders like maintain for like the licensing.
There's been a ton of people who are moving away or whatever, and just so we had, yes, we had a friend of mine, James, we're friends at James Mascaro. His two kids, his wife, his two kids.
This thing smells that out. They
Same
definitely.
age as my
They're not
wife.
doing Nintendo.
Hey, we're going down there, Frank and Sandy come up here.
Oh, yeah.
And we can just spin on it.
Mario.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't taken their mall and expanded it into a bigger arena as far as like downtown capacity. Like, doing with especially with the
He left
trampoline. I
right
guess
there
they
for a couple
did
years.
over.
Yeah, it was just,
What's that place called?
irritating the big things.
You guys?
Job somewhere.
Do they have trampolines?
He's graduating this year, he's
I'm
getting,
surprised that they
he's working on his A&P license now, and, A&P license, his airplane mechanic.
You know what I mean? One, they need to do a special song. I don't know what.
And he really likes it, it's real well.
I know, I asked my friend, I'm like, are these the noms getting some kind of, like, the hospital? And she's like, no, they're like, she's like, they look like typical regular socks you can buy at
Another buddy
Walmart.
that's
I'm like,
spent like months at a time in Australia, and Japan.
like, I gotta have special socks
And he's done well, so it's a
where
good
they
thing.
get booted out. And, I mean, it is a sanitation thing, I can't get it. But it's still like, if you don't have a special brush, like, obviously, yeah, you gotta spray it with some bleach and take the little thing and like let it dry, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But like, it's forever, you can run it forever. But like, I didn't understand that. I'm like, she's like, yeah, they yelled at me for going in to collect my child. It's like 5, and I didn't have my special socks on. I'm like, I'm like, you're a parent. You're not actually the one that's actually bouncing. I know, but they yelled at me for not having special socks. I'm like, I don't get that. I don't understand the special socks. And I looked at the website and it was like $200 for like the 10 or less party for an hour. $200 for an hour.
It's a priority. Well, it's your priority.
I mean, I guess that includes cleanup, but still that's a lot.
Right.
And then I think it was like $35 for each additional kid. So it's like,
Okay, I'm gonna see if the mic's back on. It is. We are back in regular session of the special city council meeting. I'm going to ask our city attorney if he would just give us a brief comment on some of the discussion that we had that's allowable or that's appropriate to discuss in public.
Alrighty. I guess the basic discussion was we sort of have conflicting decisions out of the federal district court and Kanawha County Circuit Court with respect to certain competing claims regarding the TIF amendment and the constitutionality of it. At the federal level, Judge Klee has ruled that if the city has a contract with Charles Point, that it was not substantially impaired and therefore could not have violated the contracts clause of the federal constitution as well as the state constitution. Judge Lindsay out of the Circuit Court of Kanawha County, on the other hand, determined that there was a contract represented by the MOU between the city and Genesis Partners. That contract was substantially impaired, and it violates the contracts clause of the West Virginia Constitution. Ultimately, Judge Klee has, not final authority, but authority to rule on the U.S. Constitution. The Supreme Court of Appeals of West Virginia has ultimate authority to weigh in on the constitutionality of the West Virginia Constitution. So we are just going to have to let this work its way up through the system.
Okay, thank you. Council, is there any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none or hearing none. Item 5.1, discussion of the conference center agreement and deed transfer. That will follow on item 12.7 of the agenda of the regular meeting. And then 5.4, there's no action to be taken on that. Any further comments from the council? No? Okay, is there a motion for adjournment of the special meeting? A motion on the floor to adjourn the special meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none or hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Meeting adjourned.
Good job.
Thank you, sir. Chief Rogers, if you get a sec, I don't want to interrupt. I need to see you real quick.
Depends on what circles you're in.
There we go, finally get the right one. Good evening, it's 7 o'clock. We will call the regular Bridgeport City Council meeting to order. Madam Clerk, if you'd call the roll, please.
Mayor Robert Matheny.
Present.
Recorder Hank Murray.
Here.
Counselor Jason Campbell.
Here.
Counselor Don Burton.
Here.
Counselor Clayton Rice.
Here.
Counselor Chris Kinney.
Here.
Counselor Jacqueline Robbinger. Here.
Thank you. If everybody would please stand while Father Walt gives invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Once again, thank you for this opportunity. And let us be mindful that we are in God's presence here this night. And God of all goodness and of all seasons, we praise and we thank you for this evening. We ask that your Holy Spirit be with us as we deliberate and discuss and make decisions for the good of our community, our families, our homes. We ask that you help us to be peacemakers. Peace will reign in our world, in our hearts, and that we might be the ones to bring it about. And we pray all these things in the name of a God who loves us, who has redeemed us, and who makes us whole. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. All right, item 4. Approve minutes of the March 19th, 2026 special city council meeting and the March 23rd, 2026 regular city council meeting. Is there any action?
So moved as read.
Motion to approve?
Second.
A second. Any discussion?
I-
Go ahead.
I'm concerned
Counselor
I sound
Kenny.
like a jerk in them, the way she wrote up that I called out Drew. That was supposed to be in jest, but man, I sound like a jerk in that, but I guess it's accurate.
All right, any further comments? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Ayes have it, motion carries. Item 5, approve outstanding bills. Is there any action to be taken?
So moved.
A motion to pay the bills, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Seeing none or hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Public comments, we have two signed up this evening for public comments. First is Dustin Vincent. If you want to go to the podium, and welcome, former council member. It's nice to see you here this evening.
It's good to see all of you. I'm gonna hand each of you something if you don't mind real quick. So I'm here, you know, I wear many hats, but, today, I'll go over the podium.
You wear them all well, let me say.
I don't know if any of them fit right. Let's see. You've heard this. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Dustin
Graham in the
Vincent,
picture? Is that Graham in the picture?
you know, I wasn't gonna, you pointed it out. It's our quarterback. You should put the quarterback on it,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah, of course, I had to give my son some love on that photo. Bridgeport High School All Sports Boosters President, and that's the reason I'm here today. You know, there's not really a whole lot of opportunities for the city to be able to support and interact with our schools and with our sports programs. This is actually one of those opportunities, so I'm here to present that to you all tonight, so just to leave you with something to think about and talk about. If you look at the first handout that I gave you, that's our current scoreboard and video board that we have down at Wayne Jamison Field. And if you look in that picture on the left, in the middle there, you can see City of Bridgeport was an advertiser in our first scoreboard when we did that. So we currently have a program going on now, and we're basically about complete with it to order the next scoreboard and video board. So with that, the number of spots that we have open on the scoreboard, we have essentially one remaining. So we had them all filled. One business that was going to be part of it has kind of went radio silent on us, so for the most part, we assume we have one opened up on that scoreboard. So myself, I thought it would be a great opportunity if the city wanted to participate again in advertisement for the scoreboard and video board project. To me, I thought there was several opportunities. You know, Connect Bridgeport would be a great opportunity to be an advertiser, in my opinion. The bridge would be a great opportunity as an advertiser. And then, as you can see, the way last time the city of Bridgeport did it itself. So several opportunities or avenues there, you know, for an advertisement position to be able to help support the cause. 100% of the funds for this project are being generated by advertisement in sponsorships is how we're trying to get this done. And then the third page, if you'll look, most of you are probably familiar with the tower. So we're also going to have 6 tower spots available. So that's why, you know, if we have one spot on the scoreboard, if one of the other entities was interested in sponsorship as well, there are spots on the tower available as part of this project as well. So the sponsorships for advertisement for each position go towards purchasing and maintaining for the scoreboard and video board. So that's my reason for being here tonight. Just wanted to give this for you guys to look at. I'm sure you can talk about it afterwards. If you're interested in going further, I'll be happy to come down as many times, as often as needed to discuss further. So,
Can you tell us what the cost of the two different options are?
well, no, there's only one option there.
Okay, so it'd be
The
the same for the
first one's,
tower as opposed to...
yeah, the first one's just the existing, the way it looks now. And you can see the difference. Of course, that video board hasn't worked now it didn't work all last season, hasn't worked the season prior, about half of it worked. So it's no longer functioning, and so the second page is the rendering in the quote that we have for that, and it is north of a couple $100,000 total that we're trying to raise to do it. So nothing's cheap anymore, unfortunately.
Right.
But
I guess the question, maybe I misunderstood the mayor's question. How much is it if we...
oh, I'm sorry, I was thinking
That
the total.
was, you got it.
Okay, so
What is
the scoreboard spots are $5,000 a year, and the tower spots are $2,500 a year. Yeah, sorry, I totally misunderstood what he was asking.
Thank you, Councilor Rice.
Yeah.
You said
That's what I was trying to say.
those are per year?
Yes,
2,500 per year for the tower, you said?
correct.
Is there a commitment for X number of
There is. So the first commitment's for 3 years, and then after that, it's renewable on a year-to-year basis. Yes. Great question.
Great project. Any other questions or comments?
The tower for your.
Yes.
We have it there for the first game?
I hope it's up way before that, Hank. There's other things that we need to move on to as boosters and in raising money and stuff. We're hoping, so we really would like to get all of the sponsorships solidified within the month on this, get it ordered. It'll be 10 weeks with delivery and installation from the time that it's ordered. So I would hope by June or so early, and then we're on to the next projects that we need to get ready for by fall. That's the current schedule.
Good, thank you.
So it looks like there's a lot less advertisement space on the new scoreboard versus the old one, so is it?
So they sent us that rendering, and if you look at that second page where it has sponsor here, it has 2 on each side. That's actually divided now into 3. So we're gonna have 3 of that, but they didn't send us an updated rendering on it. So they're more of a rectangular shape and have 3 on each side.
Okay, so it'll be 6, and you had 10 on there before, so, well, actually, you had more than that even.
Yeah, so we're gonna be at 10. We're gonna be at 10 spots is what'll be on the new board.
Oh, okay, down at the bottom, too,
Yeah.
I missed that.
We already have a marquee premier sponsor on the top, so.
Very good. Anything else?
Any other questions?
Well,
Again,
thank
like I
you.
said, think about it, talk about it. I'd love to come back and talk more if needed, so. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you all.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, sir.
All right, next to speak is Mark Harrison.
Good evening.
Hi, Mark.
The last time I was here, I was dressed more like Hank Murray. I was dressed with a nice jacket, had a sweater vest on, a little pull up. That was because I was negotiating and talking business. Today I'm dressed like a baseball coach because of this council I got to. We had conversations over the last 18 to 24 months, and some of it wasn't always very kind and very nice public opinion on social media, which is a wonderful device, social media. But I felt that it was important to let everybody know in this kind of a forum that this council was fantastic to work with. They listened. We were able to communicate and open the doors of communication to make sure that our voices were heard. And there was no doubt that all of the members on this council were open to conversations. Whether we all agreed on everything or not, we came to a point. And I wanted to thank Joe Shuttlesworth specifically for being so gracious with Aaron Horn and I when we sat down and hashed everything out. You were great. I had the opportunity with my actual day job. I don't work as much as my day job as I do with Little League, but I got the opportunity to have a meeting and a tour of the bridge with Joe and the treasurer, Larry Pack. And the look in Joe's eyes, it was like he was talking about his own children. Like it was just a gleam. I know that he refers to the bridge in that area as his child, but it really shows, and I really thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. But I really want to thank all of you for taking the time. We've come to an agreement. We're ready for baseball, and negative publicity sucks, but this is an opportunity to say thank you and maybe spin some positive, because when I walked in here, it was pretty heavy. So it's nice to see everybody smiling and being ready for baseball. I also want to take this opportunity to invite Mayor Matheny out to opening day ceremonies to take part in the opening ceremonial first pitch. Your wife said you're in.
I don't have a very strong arm.
Doesn't
but,
matter.
I'll practice, and I would be honored to do that.
Thank you very much.
Just check with my wife and let her know
I already
what it
did.
is, and
Hey,
she'll
listen,
tell me
I know
what
how-
to do.
I know how this works. I already talked to Melissa. We're good on that part. You're
What-
going to be there anyways because you're always up there. I know Jason, I know Hank will be there. I know a lot of you guys will be there, but you're all welcome, and I'd all encourage you to go up and get a hot dog and some Cracker Jacks. And
When is
enjoy
that?
it. It's on Saturday. Opening day ceremony starts at 10:30. We announce the kids. We have an invocation. We have opening the national anthem, Little League pledge, and then we have baseball games going on all day, all over the complex. So, but again, I wanted to thank this council, Joe and Jason, Hank, Mayor Matheny. Don, Clayton, Chris, and Jacqueline for being so awesome, and this board was fantastic to work with, so thank you very much.
Are you gonna have video of him doing that? Because I'm not gonna make it. I really want to see that.
That's what we have Connect Bridgeport for.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, thank you. And, you know, as you pointed out, it's just important to hear negatives from the podium as it is positives. And as you could imagine, we don't hear positive as much as sometimes we feel that we should. So thank you for doing that. And absolutely, everyone here at the dais, everybody had thoughts on that. And I think everybody's intention is we want to work together and we want to help. And I think collectively, and I think Councilor Rice actually came up with the conclusion of how we finally settled that, and the city manager. And just thank you to congratulations. It's a great thing. Thank you for pointing it out.
Time to play baseball.
Yes, absolutely. All right, I have nobody else on the list, but is anybody here that would like to address the council this evening? Okay, with that, we'll move on to mayor's report. And I'll be brief, but I'm going to spin off of what Mark started. I would tell you I had the opportunity when I probably should have been working my regular job on Friday to go to the lakes and do a little fishing. And it was quite crowded, a lot of people out there. The pickleball court at 11:30 was standing room only. Through the weekend on Saturday, I got to go with the city manager and Jacqueline. I don't want to miss anybody. I hate to name names, but a lot of you guys were there at the opening for Challenger League. And again, our VIPs had to be directing traffic out at the bridge and the rec complex because there was so much going on out there. Later in the day, I went down to City Park because two of my granddaughters was starting in Little League girls softball down there. Again, the City Park standing room only. And so folks in Bridgeport and North Central West Virginia, there sure was a lot of nice things for them to do here in our community. So whether they're a resident of the community or a visitor, I'm so glad that they're here, and I'm just proud that our community has so much to offer. So thank you, and that will conclude the mayor's report. Manager?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. As always, you know, this is a lengthy report. As the weather gets nicer, we get busier and a lot more outdoor activities and a lot more projects going on. So I'll be as brief as I can. The department heads do put a lot of effort into keeping you informed. So I do, you know, ask that you guys read through and look at this. I'm going to cover some of the highlights for you and for the public today. The Bridgeport Library, they're hosting Saturday Stories. The library's launching the Saturday Stories for our youngest patrons. It's a great option for parents who can't make it to the library programs on the weekends. Saturday Stories are on the 2nd and 4th Saturdays of each month at 10 a.m. Sports Complex Bridge, you mentioned, you know, this weekend was a banner weekend for us. It was kind of crazy, but, you know, I think the citizens are happy, and I think the hotels and the restaurants and our local businesses are probably extremely happy when we bring that many people into town. So I think it's a good thing. Just a few things to mention. They have their summer camp early bird registration, so they do some neat summer camps for kids when school's out up there. So we have some dog-related things happening. The Fast and Furriest virtual 50K. So they're trying to get you and your dog to hike, run, or walk 31 miles. So they have a registration for that. We have a Prime Timers Senior Prom. So for our members and non-members age 60, they're having a masquerade-themed senior prom on Friday, May the 15th from 11 to 1. I know we did that last year, and it was a lot of fun, and our seniors had a great time, so they're doing it again. Mark mentioned the Little League opening day ceremony, so I'll skip through that. Community development, Ms. Kerr would like us to know that the spring cleanup, which is popular every year, will start, and it will be the first 2 weeks of May, and we will have the schedule for the residents to see when their streets are going to be picked up on our website, social media, Connect Bridgeport, and we will share that with the rest of our media, of course. And we will have some printed copies at the library, Civic Center, and here at City Hall for anyone who's not online. Emergency services, Mr. Curry said that we were awarded a Homeland Security grant in the amount of $21,000 for hazardous material equipment for the fire department. And we applied for that back in 2024, just got it. So. Engineering, as Mayor Matheny mentioned earlier, we had some complaints about sidewalks and the condition of the Stone Bridge area. So we're looking to do some remediation on some uneven surfaces on the Stone Bridge Road up there on their sidewalk. And then we've started looking at some of the issues that are happening with the bridge there as well. So, fire department, just to show you kind of how busy those guys are. 83 calls in the last 7 days. So I would like to announce that Jacob Thompson was named our new deputy chief. So he was promoted into that position. And they are on their second week of EMT class for the new hires that we recently funded. And they've started preparations to begin a rescue and fire portion of the academy that they're putting on for those. Parks and Recreation, we are in full swing now and already starting to cut grass, unfortunately, and beginning prep work for the opening of the pool already. So, Police Department, Chief Rogers has hired 2 new officers. Officer Hannah Horn, who I believe is a native Bridgeporter, correct? And Officer Zachary Hensley began their service with our department today. And Officer Mason Pinard will graduate the police academy this Friday. So we're excited to add those new officers to our team. And additionally, we want to recognize the recent departure of Officer Zachary Davison, who served the city for 5 years, and Officer Christopher Burgess, who dedicated 9 years of service to the city. And we appreciate their commitment and contributions to the city and wish them well in their future endeavors. So let's see, Public Works, Tiny, they're always busy. Something else near and dear to my heart, they were up there today finishing the sidewalks around the restroom of the inclusive playground. So if you're up there walking, it's always a loud, boisterous, high activity area and very popular. So we have the dedicated restroom, should be up and running pretty soon with the concrete work they did today. And their beautification crew has been out busy mowing roadways and handling all of their day-to-day activities. And I think you see that when you drive our streets and some of the main roads and see how clean and kept everything is. And I think that's been a great addition for numerous years now. Utilities, Thrasher is working on the preliminary design criteria for our review for the Crestview Water Project. So that'll be our next big water project. We'll be up on Crestview. And then their telemetry, their SCADA upgrade, which is how we contact or keep communication to all of our lift stations and pump stations. That's all being upgraded and to a more modern system. So they're busy working on that. A few general notes. Terracon is finalizing the specifications for the Phase 1 repair to the Deegan Lake Dam. So we're preparing that out to have that out to bid here and advertised and out to bid here within the next few weeks. And our goal is to try to get that contract out and get that work done, and hopefully it's successful before we get into our normal summer weather where we don't get a lot of rain and the lake starts dropping again. We've been in discussion with the Department of Highways on the 131 widening. We had a meeting with Genesis Partners, the mayor and I, the other day, and they had talked to us about their ability to give up some land there. If you go right past the entrance to the sports complex, there's a gravel road that also goes up into their property. So we're in discussion with them and the state on what it would cost to add a turning lane coming into that area that would possibly split up some of the traffic that's coming in, but it would require us to build some roadway as well. So, I think the mayor and I were both in agreement that it's worth looking at. I think it would be beneficial to all the parties involved. And, I know there's been a lot of concerns, especially when you have a weekend like this last weekend where we have one entrance and one exit. So I think there's a few other things coming that I think will be very beneficial. I included a map there on your page there that shows you the area we're discussing. Also, the Thompson Drive slip, as you recall, up here behind Ollie's in that Home Depot Plaza up there, we had a significant slip. Back a year or so ago, we received a FEMA grant to repair a large portion of it. And we had a second slip, and we funded that ourselves, and that work was completed recently. And now we have a third slip. So we're going to monitor that for a while, but I just wanted to make you aware of that if it becomes problematic, or we get some movement on Thompson Drive or around the water lines and sewer lines that run between where the slip is and Thompson Drive, that could be problematic in the future. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention and let you know that our engineering department and Public Works and our consultants are monitoring that, and we're going to monitor it for a month or so and see if we need to take some action on that later. So that's all I have for today.
Thank you, Manager. Any questions of the manager? Okay, we will go to number 9. 9-1 through 4 are proclamations and employee awards. Unfortunately, 9-3, Sergeant Todd Collins is unable to be here this evening due to a minor family situation. So 1, 2, and 4 I will do from down on the floor, and it's my favorite part of this job. It's most difficult for me, but this month is, or this week is National Library Week. So if our staff, I see him back there, wants to come forward, Recorder Murray, if you want to join me, I know you're on the library board. Anybody else that wants to join? Proclamation, National Library Week Proclamation 2026. Whereas libraries spark creativity, fuel imagination, and inspire lifelong learning, offering a space where individuals of all ages can find joy through exploration and discovery. Whereas library services are vibrant community hubs, connecting people with knowledge, technology, and resources while fostering civic engagement, critical thinking, and culture enhancement. Whereas libraries provide free and equitable access to books, digital tools, and initiative programs ensuring of all individuals, regardless of backgrounds, they have the support they need to learn, connect, and thrive. Whereas library partners with schools, businesses, and organizations to maximize resources, increasing efficiencies, and expanding access to essential services, strengthening the entire community. Whereas libraries empower job seekers, entrepreneurs, and lifelong learners by providing access to resources, training opportunities that support career growth and economic success. Whereas libraries nurture young minds through story times, STEM programs, and literacy initiatives, fostering curiosity and a love of learning and that lasts a lifetime. Whereas libraries produce the right to read, think, and explore without censorship, standing as champions of intellectual freedom and free exploration. Whereas dedicated library workers provide welcoming space that inspire discovery, collaboration, and creativity for all. Whereas libraries and library workers across the country are joining together to celebrate National Library Week under the theme, Find Your Joy. It's fitting. Now therefore, be it resolved that I, Robert Matheny, Mayor of the City of Bridgeport, proclaim April 19th through 25th, 2026 as National Library Week, During this week, I encourage all residents to visit their library, explore the resources, and celebrate all the ways that the library helps our community find joy. Signed by me, Robert Matheny, this date. Congratulations.
Thank you
so
so
much. Thank you. Welcome on
I'm a
board.
relative newcomer, you know that, but it's definitely your support and your commitment to the library that make it possible for us to have a great library for our community. So thank you all so much.
We certainly do. Thank you and your staff for what you do. It's
You
wonderful.
do a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, if you could come back for just a minute. Hank, stay down here. Let's get her. Let's put her in the middle there. That'd be a rose between two thorns for sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Also, this month, the month of April, is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Is anybody here to receive that? I thought that would be you.
Does it matter for size?
Doesn't matter now. All right, here we go. Proclamation, Sexual Assault Awareness Month, April 2026. Whereas, April marks Sexual Assault Awareness Month, a time to honor 25 years of progress and recommit to creating safer communities for all. This year's theme, 25 years strong, looking back, moving forward, celebrates the resilience of survivors and the communities that have worked for change. Whereas for 25 years, SAAM has supported the survivors, raising awareness and inspired actions to prevent sexual assault, abuse, and harassment. As we reflect on how far we have come, we also recognize the work that lies ahead. Whereas prevention starts with all of us, it is in how we support one another, practice, consent, and create space rooted in care and respect. When we act with intention, we move closer to a future free from violence. Whereas we honor the survivors who have shared their stories and the advocates who had led the way. Their courage reminds us that prevention is possible and that each of us has a role to play. Whereas, as we look to the next 25 years, we renew our commitment to building a future free from sexual violence. Together, we can continue to strengthen prevention, support healing, and create communities where everyone feels safe. Statistics show most women and men who experience contact sexual violence reported that the person who harmed them was someone they knew. Over 53% of women and over 29% of the men reported experiencing contact sexual violence. Now, therefore, I, Robert G. Matheny, Mayor of the City of Bridgeport, do hereby proclaim April 2026 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in the City of Bridgeport. 25 years strong. Every voice matters, every action counts. By standing in solidarity, we can build a future free from sexual violence and create a world where everyone is safe, valued, and respected. Signed by me today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your
We just thank you for your support, and, please, if you know anyone that may need our services, just send them our way.
Chief, do you want to come up or grab a picture with us?
Yeah.
I'll give this to you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Do you need any pamphlets or anything? Do you need any pamphlets brought to you? I always use pamphlets.
Never have enough.
Yes. Unfortunately.
Let me take my glasses off. Let's do that in a minute.
Promise you, Rob.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
All right, we also have an Employee Service Award to present to Sergeant Scott Floyd. I don't know how you've been here for 20 years, seems like just yesterday.
Well, he thought they were gonna name a month after him.
Yeah, well, that'll be next year.
That's 25, isn't it?
Employee Service Award presented to Sergeant Scott Floyd On this 13th day of April, 2026, in recognition of your 20 years of service, signed by me and the city manager. Scott, congratulations. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Keith, do you have anything?
Yeah, so Scott started here shortly after I did, and one story that come to mind, before he went to the academy, he's riding around with me. I get out, do a traffic stop, and I get back in, and I'm like, man, I smell smoke in my car. He's like, you should, because the light box is on fire. So I can say our equipment at one point in our careers wasn't as nice as it is right now.
It's not.
But Scott is,
It was bad.
Scott wears a lot of hats here. He takes care of our radios, a lot of electronic equipment within our cruisers, as well as runs our FTO program now, and is an FTO trainer since 2009.
Yeah,
29. So,
actually reconstruction and everything.
And he currently runs one of our 4 shifts here at the city, and he does an excellent job, and I couldn't be more proud to say I'm his friend and get to work with him.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Hey, Scott, I appreciate it. It's like the Oscars, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
I need it back. I'd be lost. All right, item 10, reports. There are none. 11, unfinished business, none. 12, new business. 12.1, consider an act on the reappointments of Tim Curry and Josh Drummond to the Bridgeport Cybersecurity Advisory Committee for a 3-year term to expire March 31, 2029. Any discussion or comments on that?
So moved.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further comment? Seeing none or hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. 12.2, consider an act on a contract with Joe R. Pyle, completion, auction, and realty service for real estate auctioning service. Manager?
Yes. So as you're aware, a few months ago, we discussed auctioning the property up here off of Main Street, right up the road here, that we purchased the old townhouse motel location years ago. And as you know, it was looked at for several different options that didn't work out to be feasible. So you guys voted to decide to auction the property. With Lauren's help, we advertised for auction real estate services, and we received some submissions on that. We used a committee here of staff and elected officials that graded and considered the proposals that we have, and based on the criteria we had, and one of the criteria was what we felt was the best financial result for the buyer and the sellers, being us. The experience that they've had, and we unanimously chose Joe R. Pyle. Have Jordan Kiger and Garrett Wilkerson here today representing them if you have any questions. So in your packet was, I got to work with Jordan and Garrett on this process. We discussed several things. As you know, with that property, there are some zoning issues. There are some commercial up front and some residential in the back. And after meeting with the fellas there, we decided that the best option, and John Ashcombe as well went through all of this with me, to auction, basically have 2 different auctions, one for the commercial property, one for the residential properties back there. We did not do a reserve because all of any auction that we have has to come back to the board for approval. So we can have an auction and not really say sold, but not until you guys approve that. So we're not gonna place a reserve on the property itself, but you guys will have final say whether we accept any bids that are received. And finally, they recommend this type of property that we do it as an online only auction. That frees up some. They had a pretty good explanation on why to do that with. That people don't want to bid against certain people, and that kind of relieves us of that. And so that's you also have a copy of the contract that John's been through. We revised a few things to make it abide by all city rules and regulations that we have to follow. Like the gentlemen are here. If you have questions about their marketing proposals, marketing plans, anything like that you'd like to hear, or any questions that you have, but it's our recommendation that we complete the contract to start the process with Joe Arpile.
So I have one question about, you talked about not doing it with doing it with no reserve, but as I'm looking at the contract, it looks like you got the box checked for sale with reserve, and it says box no is checked for listing sale without reserve, so I'm a little confused why.
The first one says listing for sale with or without reserve, so I don't know, Jordan, I mean, it kind of is a reserve because you guys have final say, is that correct, John, or?
Would you guys
I
mind
think-
just maybe going up to the podium there?
Chris, I think the other option would be for you guys to set like, $700,000 as your reserve, and
Well, so I agree with the recommendation to do it without a reserve. I'm just looking at the contract where it's
well, you can
checked
set
yes.
a reserve ahead of time, but in the end, council's going to have to approve whatever amount that sells for.
Yeah, I understand all that, but this contract specifically says it checks yes for listing for sale with a reserve, which I thought we were actually going for the without a reserve.
Did you want to respond to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So in that same token, with that box being checked, we don't necessarily obviously want to mention that it's obviously being sold without a reserve, but in that box where we would actually typically would put an amount, says subject to city approval. And so the whole concept behind, no reserve is, allowing us to be able to market it as being sold with no reserve. And that it also kind of attracts the higher number of prospective buyers there for us. And so we can't alter that to say just subject to city approval without checking that box of saying specifically with reserve. But hopefully that offers some
That perfectly
clarification
answers the
there.
question. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, what kind of participation do you get with your online commercial auctions typically?
I mean, I feel like between obviously local investors and nationwide investors, I feel like we'll have a lot of participation, particularly in the location in which the property sits, the high traffic location that it has, and also just what is going on here in the city of Bridgeport. To put a specific number on potential prospective buyers, we've had anywhere from, 100 registered bidders, we've had 50 registered bidders. It just kind of depends on that particular property. But with this particular piece, being in the location that it is, we are feeling that we're going to have a high number of prospective buyers here for us.
Very good. Anybody else? Gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. And please don't feel like you have to stay, but you're welcome to.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Mayor, I make a motion, we write the contract with Joe Arpile.
Motion to award contract. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion among the council? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, 12.3, consider an act on recommendation from the Police Civil Service Commission to amend the Bridgeport Police Department Civil Service Rules, Section 3.10A1, to authorize a waiver of the physical agility testing requirements for certified law enforcement officers currently employed as police officers who apply for original appointment with the Bridgeport Police Department. I saw the chief was here. Manager, do you want to take that, or you want me, the chief, to?
I'll let the chief handle it.
Chief?
I can. So one of the things that a lot of agencies are starting to do, because we don't require certified officers to go back to the academy, and part of the initial onboarding through the process of testing, anybody who is uncertified has to be tested. That way when they go to the academy, they also get tested yet again in numerous times, unfortunately. But for people who are already certified and it is not required to go to the academy, a lot of agencies in northern West Virginia are starting to allow a waiver of the physical agility portion and allow them to go directly to the written examination. There's still an examination in the sense that they're scored appropriately and placed onto a list of eligible candidates. Only thing this does is allow them to waive the physical agility, which our commission is in agreement with and has opted to forward that to you rather than try to approve it and let it go 10 days. They want to do it with the blessing of the council, and I think it's a good thing for us, and it's a good thing for officers that want to potentially come here and finish a career with us.
Chief, they would still have to, the applicants would still have to be deemed to be fit for duty by a physician.
Yeah, by the physician as well as a rigorous background check. We will not lower those standards for anybody. They also have to still are required to do a psychological by law.
Thank you. Any other questions of the chief?
Do you guys have to take a physical fitness at any other time in your career, or is it just that initial?
We do a PT test throughout the year with SRT and some of the training we do there, but outside of that, no, it's not required by any standard. It's a standard we set upon ourselves, and I know that there are officers out there with the ability to come in and do a great job of policing. They may not be as physically fit as they once were at 20 years old, but at 35 or 40, once the state lifted the age requirement for civil service departments, we could potentially see people into their 50s that are looking to start another career because they're drawn on a private retirement from another agency. So that's kind of some of those people that we feel that we could probably see a good 5 to 10 years out of, and to help us get us through this what is an epidemic of low turnout for police jobs, not just here but everywhere across the United States.
Any other questions of the chief? All right. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Any action on the item?
So moved.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion among the council? Seeing none or hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. 12.4, consider an act on the first reading of amendments to the master fee schedule. Manager?
Yes, so in your packets, you received the master fee schedule, and it had it's a chart broken down by department, and it shows last year's fees and charges of every kind that we are aware of in the city, and any proposed changes to that would be in the green boxes that you see. Flipping through it, the main thing that I see is some slight adjustments at the bridge is probably the bigger ones, and probably the only one that anyone would even care about would be the membership rates. If you remember, there's been a lot of discussion about that in the past. I think when we first did that, we talked about using the consumer index to raise it every year, and then we just talked that we would, within 10 years, probably price ourselves out of the market for fitness and stuff and what we offer. So they've made some adjustments. I saw some of them, very minor adjustments, but I don't really see anything. The cemetery rates are fixed according to the way they operate, so those do go up every year. A lot of the departments, no changes, just a few other things, some changes in some of the fire department fees.
On those fire department fees, what is that MC plus whatever percentage? Each one has a different percentage.
Yeah. Glad Lauren knows. Yeah, a few other ones. 50 cents additional admission at the outdoor pool, cover lifeguard costs going up, and then police, nothing really. And that's about it. So by law, we have to pass an ordinance and have 2 readings on that. So be happy to answer any questions that I can on that.
Any questions?
One question was with the fire service fee, we had talked about revisiting that, the inside fee, outside fee for fire service. That's on there, I believe, under the fire department. then we still need to keep that in mind, because, you know, we had talked about revisiting that issue. And it hasn't been raised for
Ever, yeah.
ever. Yeah, so keep that in the back of our minds.
Okay, yep.
All right, any other questions or comments? Any action?
Well, so on that again, that
Go ahead.
Medicare Plus, the previous rate was just a flat rate, and now it has this MC. Is that flat rate what the current MC Plus percentage is, or are we changing the process by which we're doing it?
We switched to billing services.
Oh.
So I believe they bill differently and that's.
Oh, that's that briefing we got about a month or so ago. That's right. Okay. And so I think Don's got a great point. When would we revisit that? We just do that separately, and we can look at that separately. We don't have to do this all as one.
It's a separate ordinance, is it not? The fire fee ordinance?
The fire fee ordinance is separate.
It's not a
It
fee schedule.
probably should be
Okay.
listed
So we would
in
have
the
to do that
schedule,
separate.
because it's a
Okay.
standalone.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, is that, do we want to talk about taking it off, or do we just leave it as proposed?
I
Go ahead.
think when we created the master fee schedule, it was just to put in one place the city's fees. So it's not really, I mean, we can change it, once we change the fire fee ordinance, we can revisit and change it in this again. This was just a place to centralize all fees that are within the city.
Okay. John?
There are certain ordinances that are updated to reference the master fee schedule, and the fire fee is not one of them. Okay?
So it's just a listing on a document?
Yes.
It's not, yeah, okay, I think everybody good with that? Understand it? Okay, absolutely. Okay, so on what is on the document that we're able to set the fees, is there a motion to do that?
So move.
Motion, second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Okay, that's the first reading, so we'll have an additional reading at some point. Okay, 12.5, discuss and if appropriate, act on the investment for the Bridgeport Farmers Market. Manager?
Yes, we've had a request, we've had several discussions on the farmer's market. You know, they have made a request through our city representation here that we consider investing $25,000 into their market. So to me, we have a couple different options, as I explained in the past. We do have some funding in the city manager's budget that we can move to an account to allow us to pay that, and it's funds that were budgeted last year or for this year's budget that are not going to be expended. You know, we also, I feel like we need to address if this is a one-time one-time investment, or if you want to consider, you know, in future budgets or in a budget revision for the next year's budget, if you want to consider this as one time, or if you want to consider a yearly contribution, and to what levels are the options on the table, or the other option is to not fund it at all. So, you know, as we've explained at the last council meeting, you know, we have the ability to do all of that, but we need direction from this body to tell us if you want to do it, and to what level you'd like to do it, and at what frequency you'd like to see that done.
Yeah, I would like to hear, I know Jacqueline's on that board, and I know Andrea's here, but she is also. Would you mind going to the podium? I would like to hear their thoughts on it, of how it would be used and useful, and what you guys are thinking, if that's okay. Jacqueline, do you want to start, or would you prefer? It doesn't matter, either way.
Yeah, so the farmers market, I think this was discussed really for the past year or two, and the evolution, I guess, of the farmers market and the new farmers market. And we've done a lot of back and forth, and they ended up hiring somebody to be like the executive director of the farmer's market to kind of steer it in a little bit of a new direction. And I know that council, it's not your wish to pay on somebody's salary. And I'm not exactly sure, I wasn't able to make it to the meeting this past Wednesday, so I'm not sure where the finances stand right now. I think Jacqueline attended that meeting. So do you know what their greatest need is right now? Did they talk about it at all on Wednesday?
Yeah, I know we had talked about purchasing items, supplies, tables. They really don't need those type of items. I think what they need, like she emphasized, new director, new direction, totally new organization. They just need some seed money to get started, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
like branding, marketing.
yes.
Yeah, they did talk about, there's gonna be new areas of the farmer's market, a kids area. They were talking about tents and tables. There's gonna be like a common area for people to be able to visit the food trucks or the vendors and sit down and have lunch. You know, various items like that, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's my request of council that we approve a $25,000 unencumbered donation to do as they wish for their first year. And then next year, see how they're growing, see how things are going. The reorganization of the market this year has probably been the main reason she has not been able to fundraise sufficiently, because she's been developing a whole new market. So I hate to put a qualifier on next year when we don't even know where we're going to be next year. So I'd love to see the option there for next year, but I know that as a council, I feel like this is a very community-oriented project. There's 22 Sundays a year that this community can go up there and visit. You always hear there's nothing to do here. We've proven with the bridge and the farmer, there's plenty to do here now. We have grown so much, so I really ask you all to support the $25,000 donation for this year.
Yeah, and also too, I think what's new for this year, they are putting a small fee on a vendor application this year that they're hoping to bring in some income. There hasn't been that money coming in just yet, so I think, you know, once that starts getting rolling and coming in, you know, we may see a little turn of them being more sustainable, self-sufficient on their own too.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, they're expecting about $10,000 from vendors. So they are moving in the right direction for fundraising. I think it would just be
I agree.
Great of us to support them on this new endeavor.
The only thing that I would add is that, you know, every vendor is licensed and does pay B&O taxes back to the city, so.
Yeah.
Any other comments or thoughts? Or?
Jacqueline, are you saying that this would be more like a line of credit for them? So, potentially.
I would say, I mean, like we've said, we're on the board. We will monitor the spending. We have a monthly board meeting. We have a line item, very, very detailed treasurer's report. So, so I would say my position would be to give them the full $25,000, and we will have them report back monthly where they're spending it.
Right.
So when you say line of credit, that would mean they'd pay it back, though. That's how I understand credit. Or are you just saying just 25,000 and they draw from it as needed?
I wasn't looking at it in that vein.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Because, you know, I've mentioned this before. I think this is a Pandora's box that we got to be very careful of. I fully support what the farmers market's doing. I think it's a great thing to do. But as soon as we start providing money to one organization, what prevents every single other organization from coming to us? And I read the paper consistently where the county commission is taking in all these requests from every organization, every fair, every festival, wanting $1,000 here, $5,000 there, and it's throughout the year. And you know, trying to fit. I personally don't want to try to figure out whether or not that fits into the budget. I think we should support these organizations as much as possible. Like with Little League, can we find ways to provide space for them? Are there other accommodations that we can make? I mean, it's no longer city property where they do this, right? That's been sold off, so it's on private property now, right? But if, you know, if we could provide that space for them, I'd be more than willing to do that. But just to give money to these organizations, I think it's a can of worms that we don't belong in. And then just from a personal principle standpoint, you know, I'm not a big fan of government funding this kind of stuff, because if we have that kind of money to start funding this, and you've heard me say this before, then we're raising too many taxes. And what we need to do is just lower taxes and give more people more spending money, rather than us choosing where to throw this money. Now, in full disclosure, to show where I stand, I've got a request as a representative of the mission to the library to see if we can put a collection box on their property. We would pay for the mission would pay for the box, they would pay for the concrete and all that stuff to set it up. I'm just asking for the space. But if you guys see that in the same conflict, same kind of vein that what I'm arguing here, I'd be more than willing to withdraw that request even. I think we're going down a dangerous path. Let me ask you this way. Let me use the Hudson Pillar 5K. Do we charge them for police? Because we provide a lot of police for traffic control. Do we charge them for that at all? Right. So, there are other municipalities that do charge. And so that's a great way for the city. We're not giving them money, but we provide infrastructure. We provide services to help that. If the farmers market needed service out there, if they needed infrastructure support that we could provide, I'd be all for that. But just to give money, by principle, I don't agree with it, and the can of worms, I don't agree with it.
Thank you for your comments on that. Any other, Councilor Rice?
Yeah, my comments, the farmer's market it's dynamic, it's needed. I think holistically it's viewed as a Bridgeport thing. And I think it's got good leadership. I think it has the best board that it has had since it's been organized. I think it's an investment we should make. I think it should be a one-time investment and we make it clear. And I like the seed capital analogy because I think that's what it is. And it does bring 22 Sundays of patrons that visit Bridgeport, have lunch in Bridgeport, spend money in Bridgeport. So we really don't know those tentacles that touch all that. So that's why I'm in support of it. And I do believe it should be a one-time, and I think they should spread their wings and fly after that.
There are organizations because I don't agree with any of the stuff you're saying, other than if seed money is what they need, there are organizations that specialize in providing seed money. Angels that are out there to do this very specific thing to help out organizations like that. And if it is that needed, if it is that popular, which I hope it is, then the community support will be there and the revenue will come in to then pay for itself, rather than, again, having a government entity come in and be an investor. I don't think that's our role, to be an investor. And I really think this is more of a donation than it is an investment, because there's no direct return on that. Sure, we get B&O taxes, all that kind of stuff. I get it, but I think this is more donation than investment.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Rice?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we approve a $25,000 I'll call contribution, donation. Probably investment might not be the right terminology, and it's signified whether it comes from the city manager's fund or a different allocation. I'll leave that up to the city manager, but a one-time $25,000 contribution to the farmer's market.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion among council? Okay, hearing none or seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay?
Nay.
Ayes have it, motion carries. All right, 12.6, consider an act on preliminary approval for an alley abandonment request for Trey Oliverio located on Orchard Avenue, Bridgeport. Andrew, is that you?
It is.
You're just supposed to stay at the
Just
mic.
stay here. I'm just gonna stay
Trey?
here. So, Mr. Oliverio, he's here if anybody has any questions too. He purchased a property on Orchard Street, which is directly across from Hill Street. He purchased that property and he did subdivide it into 2 separate parcels. So that was unanimously approved by the Planning Commission on February 2nd. So the next step in his development is to abandon the alley that runs alongside his property. And if you all look, I put a map in your packet, and it has a star where the alley lies parallel to his parcel. And he's only going to abandon it to the end line of his parcel, not any further. So, as you guys mostly are well aware, that if an alley is abandoned and there are properties behind it, we don't like to leave them landlocked. But there is an additional alley that comes off of Newton that runs perpendicular to his property. So it will allow access to the other properties, 243 and 227 West Main Street. It will leave access open to them. He did get approval from the adjoining property owner, who did sign his petition to abandon the alley. So it is a 30-foot alley. Mr. Oliverio will get 15 feet, and the adjoining property owner will get the other 15 feet. So tonight is just preliminary approval, and then what happens next is our attorneys will prepare all the quitclaim deeds and all the information that goes with Mr. Oliverio obtaining this abandoned alley, I guess, for lack of better words.
So is it your recommendation that we proceed with that?
Yeah, it is. It's not, we have a lot of abandoned alleys throughout the city, and or they're called paper alleys, abandoned alleys. We would essentially like to see them all be redistributed among property owners. So, I think this is a perfect example because it doesn't hinder or landlock anybody also.
Thank you. Any questions of Ms. Kerr? Mr. Algray, do you have anything to add? No. All right. Any actions on this item?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. 12.6. Any discussion among council? Seeing none or hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries.
Thank you. So this will come back to City Council for final approval once all the paperwork is finished.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, 12.7, consider an act on a resolution authorizing the city to surrender and terminate that certain lease and release its right to purchase that certain property bearing the physical address of 300 Conference Way, Bridgeport, West Virginia, and parking easement. Manager or attorney? You guys flip a coin down there.
Second time talking about this tonight, but back in 2004, the city wanted a conference center. Bridgeport Development Authority acted as the borrower and took out bonds on it, leased the property to the city. Genesis Partners donated basically parcels for the conference center to be built on, as well as a right of way for a parking lot. City sublet the property to CP Hospitality LLC under the entire agreement. Once the bonds had been satisfied in full, CP Hospitality LLC would have the opportunity to purchase the property back and receive certain discounts for the property donated, capital improvements, share of the hotel motel tax, and basically the city is just surrendering its lease and just providing notice that all terms and obligations of CP Hospitality have been met in full.
Thank you. Any questions regarding that? Okay. Seeing none or hearing none. Any action on 12.7?
So moved as read.
Motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Motion and second. Any further discussion among the council? Seeing none or hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Item 13, council comments. Mr. Ominger?
I know you already mentioned Challenger League. That's the best thing that you could ever attend in your entire life. So I highly recommend anyone going. Their schedule of events is on Facebook, obviously. So heartwarming. If you're having a bad day, you need to go to a Challenger League game. And I also would like to thank Chief Rogers and the deputies. I was a victim of fraud and identity theft. So I came in, quick statement, was out of there in 30 minutes. So I appreciate you guys very much for helping me. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. Councilor Kenny? Councilor Rice?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Councilor Burton?
Yes, I was up there at Challenger League. It's awesome. great turnout. It's great to see a lot of those big smiles on the kids, and thank you to the tenure of the officers, 15 and 20 years. That says a lot for the police department and the city of Bridgeport. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Campbell? Recorder Murray?
Mark's here, and he's right. If you have a chance, go to Little League opening day. It's crazy. It's just, there's people everywhere, and the kids have a blast. And matter of fact, I told Drew the other day, I've changed my mailing address to the Bridge. I'm up there every day for the grandkids. So, but no, it really is a great, and it just lets you know what a great place we have. My middle daughter was going in the other day, going to one of the things for one of the kids, and she said she heard all these people behind her saying, "Do you believe this place? Look at this place. This place." They'd never been there before. They'd never seen it. It really is a place that the rest of the state wants to be jealous of, and I don't mean that bad in any way. It's we're blessed. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, sir. Yes.
I want to thank Mark for coming in on the Voice of the Little League. We do get a lot of public comments. They're not always pleasant. We're okay to address the non-pleasant things too. I'm glad that everybody worked together. I'm really glad that you came and spent your evening here to recognize us. So thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
I do have one question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well,
It's your time.
I just saw my note and I forgot about it. Have we heard anything on the report on the investigations from Illenfield, where he's at and when we're going to get that?
I have not.
I have not yet. I can follow up with him this week and see where we're at.
Yeah, if you would do that, that'd be great. All right. Anything else? Okay, with that, we need a motion for adjournment. We got a motion? Do we have a second? A second. Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.